All right, you guys are going to love today's video. We're gonna get into 5 lifting mistakes that are killing your gains that I have learned from the last year and a half training with Charles Glass, the Godfather of Bodybuilding. And these are mistakes that I really did not know that I was making, and many of you probably do not know that you are also making these same mistakes. So Charles trains Mr. Olympia winners. He has trained The Rock, and you guys are gonna get so much gold out of this video. So smash that like for those YouTube algorithm gains, and let's get started.
You ain't got no gains. You ain't lift no weights.
So this first mistake is much better told with a story, and it's one of the first times I ever did legs with Charles Glass. I literally thought I was going to die. So we're on the leg press machine, and leg press sounds fairly innocent. I always assumed that squats were a lot harder than leg press, and that's because I was not doing leg press the way that Charles Glass has all of his clients do leg press. So this is what he has Mr. Olympia winners do and IFBB pros. And this really made me look at leg training in a whole nother way. So we're on the leg press machine, and he has me doing the heaviest weight that I could possibly do for 12 repetitions. So he's actually helping me a tiny bit, and it's absolutely brutal. So I get done with my first set, and then he tells me, you know what? Now do a bunch of bodyweight walking lunges. We did about 20 or 30. He goes, go down to that machine, which is probably 20 to 30 feet, and then go back with your hands on your head doing bodyweight walking lunges. The first set, I literally thought I was going to die, and then he tells me we have 5 more sets and proceeds to load more weight on the leg press machine. So the biggest training mistake that I've learned from Charles Glass is leg day should be your hardest training day of the week. If you want to bring up your biceps, you want to bring up every muscle group in your body, you want to have more anabolic hormones circulating in your body, you have got to make leg day your hardest workout of the week. If leg day is not your hardest workout of the week, you are doing something wrong. In the last year and a half, I prioritized bringing up my legs more than any other muscle group, and I have so many leg workouts on the way for you guys. I have another video where I'm going to share with you guys exactly how I increased my barbell squat by 200 pounds. But there were several times training legs with Charles Glass where I literally thought I was going to die, but after the workout, I felt so good. Like those couple days after, of course, my legs were really sore, but I felt the increase in my anabolic hormones. I felt the increase in my testosterone, and it really had a carryover effect where I started to notice I was getting stronger on push exercises. I was getting stronger on pull exercises, and I just felt like my body was transforming so much faster when I started to make damn sure that my hardest workouts of the week were leg day, and I was also putting the most amount of total training volume during the week on my quads, my hamstrings, and my glutes. So in theory, even if you don't care what your legs look like, make leg day the hardest training day of the week, and your body will transform so much faster. So I got a question for you guys. If you could train with anyone for 1 week, who would you train with? Comment down below, and I'm gonna select one person who comments in the first 24 hours to win a full-size tub of Superhuman pre-workout and the iconic lion shirt that I'm wearing from my company, Alpha Lion. So comment down below, make sure you have notifications turned on, and let's get into mistake number 2. The second lifting mistake that was a rude awakening for me was training your shoulders like a moron. Now, I guarantee you, all of you are making shoulder training mistakes. In the first few workouts I did with Charles Glass, it was a huge struggle for me just to get proper form on the lat raise where I really felt it in my side delt. So there's a clip that I played for you guys many times where Charles stops me in the middle of my lat raise and he points out a few big mistakes that I was making. And I've been training my shoulders for years and years, making this mistake. And now every single time I go to a public gym, I'll look around, I'll see someone training shoulders, and I always see them making a few mistakes when they do any type of lat raise. Now, the first big mistake is using your traps to assist in the lift. Now, when you're doing the lat raises are so great for building the side of your shoulders, really getting those bolder shoulders and wider shoulders. Now, another huge mistake is pushing up instead of pushing out. So that's gonna go hand in hand with the trap training tip. Now, if you think about if you're doing a lat raise, pushing the weight out instead of pushing the weight up with your traps, such a game changer. And the third tip is think about a slight rotation of the elbow where at the end of every single rep, your thumbs are pointing down. Now, that little tweak in your shoulder training and doing that for 10 sets per week is going to blow up your shoulders. The third mistake, killing your gains, is ego lifting. Now, I want you to think right now, the last time that you trained a legging muscle group, let's say it was chest. Now, you know your chest is a little bit weak, so what do? You load up the bench press with as much weight as you can, you have really shitty form, and you do maybe like the 3 to 5 rep range, just to prove to yourself that you can lift that heavy weight. Now, what's really interesting is all the times I trained with Charles Glass, we did every single muscle group probably a good 5 to 10 times. We always stuck in the 12 rep range for the most part, and sometimes even more reps if we're doing something like a drop set or a superset. Now, bodybuilding, if you're working out to build a muscle for aesthetic reasons, is not powerlifting. And the goal of bodybuilding, if you want to build your biceps, your chest, any muscle group, you want to take that muscle until failure. Now, I remember one time I was on the preacher curl machine and I was using my head and my neck to really assist and make it a lot easier on myself. So Charles kept on telling me, keep your head still and keep your head back. And I started doing it. It was so much harder. I had to do less weight, but guess what? I felt it in my biceps so much more. And the end result of me doing the proper form, not cheating the repetition, is gonna help me grow my biceps so much faster than stroking my ego, having really shitty form, and just trying to prove to myself that I can do more weight. So remember guys, bodybuilding is not powerlifting. You want to make it as hard as possible on the muscle. And it's fine to go heavy and challenge yourself, but focus on taking that muscle until failure in the 10 to 12 rep range for most of your sets. The fourth huge lifting mistake is not mastering your form and the activation with every single muscle group. So with biceps, for example, when I started training with Charles Glass, I learned that for me personally, I felt the most activation and an incredible bicep squeeze when I started doing swoop curls. It was very counterintuitive. I would have never thought that bringing my elbows up instead of keeping my elbows stationary would have given me a better bicep pump. But I started going heavy on this exercise and failing in the 10 to 12 rep range, and I brought up my arms so much. And if you missed my video on the 5 mistakes that I corrected to grow my arms 5 inches, make sure you check out that video if you're trying to grow your arms, because there is so much gold also in that video. Now with triceps, this was a big one. Now I would always do tricep press downs and I always have my wrist kind of cocked back. Now Charles had me switch my form where I was keeping my hands straight and really positioning that hand and the wrist straight at the bottom of every single rep. And I felt it so much more on the side of my triceps. On the rope triceps, really twisting out at the top of every single repetition. Felt it so much more in my triceps, those little form tweaks with every single muscle group. Now with leg training, with quads especially, he told me that say you're doing the leg press, say you're doing leg extension, even barbell squat, by not coming up all the way and locking the knees and keeping the tension on the quads, like let's say you're doing a leg press, instead of locking out at the end of every single rep, if you go 2 to 3 inches from locking out, it keeps tension directly on the quads and you're gonna feel this so much more. It's always the little tweaks, guys. Now, there's so much gold in all of the Charles Glass workout videos, so I recommend if you have not done so yet, I'm gonna link an entire playlist of every single workout that I have done with Charles down below, so check it out if you wanna cycle through every single muscle group. But 2 more huge tips with back training. Really getting a full stretch of the lats and really squeezing, so stretch and squeeze with every single repetition on the lat pull down, even doing something like behind the head lat pull down and getting that full stretch and that full squeeze where I'm keeping my elbows forward, incredible. And with chest training, learning to adduct in an inclined position to really activate my upper chest has helped me so much in my aesthetic development. So there's always little form tweaks that you can do with every single muscle group. So I challenge you to master the small details with every single workout. And the fifth lifting mistake, killing your gains, is only following the status quo, only doing what the generic personal trainer will tell you, only doing, say, a push-pull leg split and only doing the basic exercises. That's great. It's going to build your foundation the first few years. But if you really want to take your physique to the next level, you really want to maximize your performance in the gym and maximize every single workout, be open to new exercises. Be open to new intensity techniques. Be open to new training splits. Be open to new ways of doing common exercises. Let's say, for example, the dumbbell one-arm row, an exercise that I see done wrong so many times. A lot of you guys, you're just sort of like rowing up like this. When I did the dumbbell one-arm row one day with Charles Glass, he actually had me start from the ground and I pulled all the way across my body where I was going across and my elbow was coming back. The best lat pump I had ever got doing the dumbbell one-arm row. And every single day I go to the gym, I see people doing the dumbbell one-arm row completely wrong. I never see people doing this form. But if you just change it up from the status quo for a few workouts, you tried some of these outside the box form techniques, you do some of the intensity techniques that I teach you guys with, say, the balloon method, don't think that you just need to follow the status quo. Like doing the basic training splits and the basic compound exercises, those are great. That's gonna give you your foundation. But if you wanna reach your maximum potential, don't be afraid to not follow the status quo and try new training splits, try new intensity techniques, new exercises, new ways of doing common exercises. I've had incredible results just trying things a little bit outside the box, and I know you guys will too. So now that you guys fixed these 5 crucial lifting mistakes, all you gotta do is make sure you're putting the right nutrition in your body to speed up those muscle gains. And the best quality protein source on the planet for building muscle is a whey protein isolate, rated 100 out of 100 on the protein quality scale. And if you guys want to speed up those muscle gains, I cannot recommend a whey protein isolate enough. So all you have to do is tap the link down below and use the code No More Mistakes for 20% off my company Alpha Lion's Superhuman Protein. This is my go-to post-workout protein for speeding up my muscle gains. It tastes absolutely delicious. It digests amazing. It's 99.9% lactose free. And if you guys just take 1 to 2 scoops every single day, it is a surefire way to get in 20 to 40 more grams of delicious, fast digesting protein. So tap that link down below and use the code No More Mistakes for a YouTube exclusive 20% off. And if you guys want to stay right here on YouTube, I'm going to throw a link right down below and around the screen for my video from last Saturday, 5 mistakes that I corrected to grow my arms 5 inches. I'm also going to throw the Charles Glass complete workout playlist, and I will see you guys on the next video.
You ain't got no gains. You ain't lift no weights.